Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Boss Switch Network. I'm your host and enlightened excited Eddie V. Joining me is Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig.
Hello, Ed. How are you?
Hello. It's been a while, in a sense.
It's been a whole 15 minutes, Ed.
I'm talking about recording some other things.
Oh, yeah, I know. Ed's off this weekend, so we're kind of jam-packing some stuff in.
Yes.
Buckle up, everyone. It's
Get ready.
12:30 at night.
Get ready for some fun-filled episodes? Question mark? Oh well. Today, everybody, we're going to be talking about giving our little bit of impressions of the Splatoon Switch OLED that was announced, and we're going to be diving into Nintendo maybe returning to E3. What does that look like for the company? But Corey, this Nintendo Splatoon Switch OLED.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
it's a pretty console. I think if you don't have an OLED and you're a fan of Splatoon, this is a pretty good looking console. I really like the design of the dock. I really like the Joy-Cons. I think the plating on the back of the Switch itself is really cool. Like it's got that very faint kind of Splatoon design, very iconic squid figures. So yeah, I mean, I'm all about it. I love the Pro Controller too. I think I'm gonna get the Pro Controller because I need a fourth one. And I've been eyeing the Splatoon 2 one for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I already have a pink one with the Xenoblade controller.
Same.
So I think like the blue and yellow one would be a nice kind of tone change for that. So I'm not gonna get the console obviously because I already have an OLED Switch. I'm not gonna buy another one. Although,
Right.
I would if I was single and didn't have any children. I would probably have like all the different kinds of special editions, but also would be poor. But if I didn't have an OLED, I would highly consider getting this one. It's really cool looking.
Yes, I may buy the OLED for my nephew for his birthday. Because his Switch, his original Switch went kaput. I know they want to use mine for the time being, and I just gotta take some stuff off and charge it up and give it to him. But I think I'm like, you might as well get the upgrade version of it, and with the Splatoon one, you got it doesn't come with the game. It's just the system itself.
Yeah.
With the Joy-Cons and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It does come with the game. It comes with the digital version. It's $360.
Oh, okay. I was wondering because someone said that it didn't come with the game.
Unless they're selling it separately, unless they're selling two SKUs of it, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
They should.
I don't know. Let me find out real quick actually now because now I'm confused because I swear I saw a $360. Unless somebody was selling a bundle, like selling it as a bundle. I'm on Nintendo Life right now. They're usually pretty good.
Yes.
The Switch. Okay, so that's that right now. It looks like in the UK they're selling the bundle for 330 euros, pounds, quid, whatever you're calling them. So yeah, and it's bundled with Splatoon 3. So it looks like they are. They're selling. It looks like they're selling one without it also. Maybe they're doing both. I don't know. But I mean, I think that would be a great choice. I don't see why you wouldn't. They also revealed the Switch carrying case. They have a couple different colors of carrying case for it. They have but it the cover of the case. Let me grab mine here. This front part is it matches the dock and the Switch plating. Like it has the Splatoon kind of logos and cartoon kind of stuff on it, like this part of it. But then like the zipper, the black zipper part that you see on mine, I know this is great for an audio podcast, but the black zipper part here, they're selling a neon yellow one and a purplish blue one that matches the Joy-Cons. So that's cool. I really like the case, except I'm a 35-year-old man, and I don't think carrying around this neon yellow case would be very appealing in public. But
I'm afraid it's 2-year-old man, and I will carry the case.
Yeah. So I mean, I really like the Joy-Cons though, because the front, it's translucent. Like the colors are translucent, which is cool, and the Joy-Cons are semi-translucent, so you can kind of see through them. Like the back is this clear white kind of color. The front obviously is the neon yellow and the neon purplish color. I really like it. If I didn't have an OLED already, I would highly consider getting this version. I really love the dock too. The
dock is really nice.
I really love the dock because it has like that. It has like a ink splatter on the front of it, that neon yellow.
Yeah,
and like all the road signs and the cartoons also. Man, Splatoon, I should go back and finish Splatoon 2's campaign because I never did. And Splatoon is always fun when you play. It's like, you know how you kind of have like a list of games that you're like, every time you play, you're like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Why don't I play this more? And then you forget about it for like 6 months.
Yes.
Splatoon is definitely one of those games for me where it's like every time I play it, I have so much fun. And then I just forget about it. You know?
Well, I think it's just you have that and I do this too. So I think it's just that at that moment in time we're enjoying this like game that we probably played multiple times, and it just feels like, you know, it's comforting. It's just something for us to do until, you know, be like, oh, the next game, or I need to move on, or, you know, you get to that mood that you don't feel like playing it and you go on to something else. It's like it happens from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have Splatoon 2 still in the case, like still like literally in the box wrapped up because I got it on a good sale. And I'm just like, I need to start this game.
Yeah. I mean, the campaign, like, for those who haven't played Splatoon and are big fans of Mario Sunshine, Splatoon is essentially the spiritual successor to Super Mario Sunshine, I feel like, in a lot of ways. It's got great platforming. It's designed as a third-person shooter, but it still has kind of like this shooting mechanics from Mario Odyssey or Mario Sunshine. I feel like people who enjoy that game will definitely enjoy this. The boss battles are essentially big Mario bosses. Like, they're super cool and well designed. Like, I don't know, man. I always forget about Splatoon, and I've been kind of wanting to play it for a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's such a fun multiplayer game. Because definitely when the first one came out on Wii U, I was playing it daily,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and playing with, you know, different people in Japan, different cities in America.
Japanese people are so good at this game, by the way.
So good.
Like, just, yeah. So
good. And I think I love the premise of it, of Splatoon. It's just like, it's more about coloring the area than it is attacking people. Mm-hmm. I mean, attacking other players. Yes, you're attacking other players, but that doesn't do nothing for you.
Right.
Because if you just like ending us, then we got someone who is rolling around covering more paint and everything. You know, it's about covering the area than it is, you know, stopping your opponent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely Nintendo's way of easing people into shooters, but it's also a very competent and very fun shooter. I mean, it does the Nintendo thing where, it makes everybody feel like they can accomplish something. It actually like reminds me of, not in a gameplay mechanic sense or anything, but it kind of
Mhm.
reminds me a little bit of Overwatch in that way, where like, okay, you're not great at like killing people, right? You're not great at, getting the headshot or, getting the taking out two or three people at the same time, right? But you can still contribute, right? And Overwatch has that that great mechanic where you have you have your DPS characters, you have your healers, you have your tanks. Uh Splatoon kind of has that in a different sense in terms of what weapons you pick, right? Where,
Mhm.
yeah, you can have the dualies, you can have the uh, I guess in terms of Destiny sense, like a scout rifle or a pulse rifle, like a burst rifle type weapon, or you can go in with a paint roller and cover ground instead of being the person that goes in and kind of tries to take out the other team, or you can use the bombs, right? Like the splatter bombs, which cover a lot of area. And I really like how the game focuses on the area coverage as opposed to like killing people, because it kind of teaches people how to play objective based modes in a sense,
Mhm. Yeah.
that appear in other games, instead of just, what's my KD ratio, if you want that, go play Call of Duty, I guess. But I really like Splatoon in that aspect, and I know a lot of people we know have been playing Splatoon uh, over the course of the last month or two, right? Like I've seen Grayson kind of post screenshots on Twitter. I know he's in the Monster Hunter right now, but before Sunbreak came out, he was posting some Splatoon stuff. Uh,
Yes.
and a few other people that we know have been posting Splatoon stuff. So yeah, I mean, love it. Love me some Splatoon when I remember that it exists.
Yeah. And I think it's just such a cool. It's just a cool game.
Hmm.
It's very artistic and stylish. With the color combinations, popping and everything, and it's just like you said, it's easier for everyone to get in, and this Switch edition represents that. And like the Pro controller, dude, this was literally be my fifth Pro controller. So I got the Xenoblade. I got the Monster Hunter one that came out when Monster Hunter Rise dropped. I got the Monster Hunter Sunbreak edition.
Hmm.
I just got a plain new Pro controller, and then I want to pick up this Splatoon one. Which is weird that Xenoblade 3 didn't get one.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm surprised that Nintendo doesn't put out more special edition Pro controllers. It shocks me.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
even if it's not like game related, just colored ones. Like a blue one or a red one, or like every color of Joy-Con should have a equal Pro controller. I feel like.
I wonder is it because of that Wire A brand?
I mean, the Power A, like they're
Power
kind of
A,
that
yeah.
weird licensed third party maybe, but also like I don't know. I wonder if they've had plans for more and they just couldn't figure out how to do it with like supply shortages or something.
Uh-huh.
Uh but yeah, man, like I'm shocked there's not like a Mario one or a Zelda one, or I mean, I know we got the Zelda Joy-Cons or whatever, which am using on my Switch right now. I'm always hesitant to use those, by the way, because I don't want the Triforce to rub off, or like the Joy-Cons
Yeah.
to get stiff or anything, or like the like the triggers to be unclicky. But I like the way they look on there. So, but yeah, I'm kind of shocked that we didn't get more Pro controllers. I kind of want the one I kind of want is the Smash one because it's white and it matches, but it's also like
Yes.
$120
Oh no.
right now.
I think that's why I I think that's why I like Xbox like the Series X and even the
Hmm.
Xbox One controllers, like when they do special editions, they are really nice controllers. Like
Well, not even
they're
that,
so good.
but they have the design lab as well, which you can kind
Yes.
of do whatever you want there, which is awesome. Uh, so I mean, I don't expect Nintendo to go that far,
Oh no.
but I mean, even Sony has started putting out colored controllers, and it's like, man, I the Switch is so popular and so unique. It's like, man, I wish there was more, not customization, what's the word? The ability to like express what kind of gamer you are, you know?
Yeah.
And I get that the Joy-Cons are that way and the Switch lights are kind of moving in that direction with the different colors and stuff, but like I don't know. I you know me, if I can play on the TV, I'm playing on the TV,
Yes.
and I would just love like a fresh blue Pro controller, but I guess I'll just have to settle for the Splatoon one.
I want a full yellow. Like I
Oh, like the banana yellow N64 controller that came with Donkey Kong, which I found
Yeah.
like so. My big project the other day, or the past like week and a half, was to reorganize everything.
Uh-huh.
And man, just going down memory lane again was like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. Just to, I hope someday I'm gonna be able to display and kind of just have all this stuff sitting out, just to look at, you know, and not just shoved in a box downstairs. But I found my atomic purple and my banana yellow N64 controllers, which are the controllers that I use the most. And
Nice.
it just was like, man, even GameCube had like that nasty orange color controller, which I have, and uh, I have that. Remember the really rare white one that they released? I
Yes.
have that downstairs. I actually brought it up. It's actually in my cabinet down here because I have the Smash thing that you plug your GameCube controllers into.
Uh-huh.
And, maybe someday I'll play some Smash. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday we'll get GameCube games on the Switch and I will play with my GameCube controller. Uh,
Just wait of that I was talking to Austin and I was just like if GameCube comes to Switch, that expansion pass subscription is going to jump.
I
And I
don't think
said,
so. They can't go any higher than $50.
oh no, I wasn't talking about price. I'm talking about people getting
Oh,
it.
getting it. Okay. Yeah. I also like them selling wireless GameCube controllers or Wavebirds on the Switch store. You
Dude.
think the N64 controllers are hard to get? Better better have like 75 tabs open on your
Okay?
browser for the GameCube ones.
Because they are going to disappear.
Yeah. So, by the way, I bought two N64 controllers and the Nintendo store won't let me buy anymore. I don't know if that like the limit is just two or if like it's two at a time and it just doesn't realize that they messed up or something, but man.
I think it's just two.
But what about the 4-player games, Ed? What if I actually have 4 people in my house? That's funny. I'm just not. Oh man, I have no friends. But anyways, yeah. Back to Splatoon. Like I think that Pro controller. I'm getting that Pro controller. It's so cool
Same.
looking.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I've been like really trying to focus on the Nintendo side of my gaming library recently because I feel like I'm not if I'm going to be on a console specific show like Nintendo Power Block, I need to commit, you know. Not saying that like I'm not playing other games on my Xbox or whatever, but like I feel like I've been doing this show and myself a disservice by not committing or playing enough games on that console. So like I've been really aiming to build up my physical library first of all again.
Yeah.
Which by the way, Shin Megami Tensei 5 I got physically and Mario plus Rabbids I got physically recently.
I thought you had Mario Rapids physical.
I did, but I forget what. Oh, I gave it to my nephews because they wanted a new game to play, and I just let them have it because I had it physically, and I know it's like $5 on Amazon all the time. So yeah, I've been kind of building my library back up. I'm focusing on Wii U, 3DS, and Switch. Although my Wii U library has not really changed. There's only like 5 or 6 games that I don't have on Wii U that I would like to have. So that library is kind of almost finished for me, at least.
Okay.
Including Splatoon. I have Splatoon 1 on Wii U, which is also, I thought about going back and playing that campaign again as well, but I didn't.
So good. So good.
Wii U, man, what a console. Should have bought one, everybody.
Wait till we get to the ranking of that one for ranking Nintendo.
Yeah. But Ed, we have patrons to read off.
Yes.
Before we get into more things here on the Boss Rush Network. Remember, if you want to support the Boss Rush Network and Nintendo Power Block directly, you can head on over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Patreon is a monthly subscription-based service that you can support your favorite creators directly. And we offer tiers for specific subscriptions. We currently have 2 tiers right now. The $1 tier, which gets you early access to Boss Rush podcast 1 week early, this show 1 week early, and 2-week early access to Standard Definition, our retro nostalgia podcast, which if you are listening to this on Nintendo Power Block's podcast feed, you will notice that a few episodes have gone up already for our ranking Nintendo series. We've been putting them on the Nintendo Power Block feed just to kind of get eyes on that show a little bit, because it's not one of our more popular shows. So we just kind of want to get eyes on that show. And then 2 weeks early access to Boss Rush After Dark. So you can get all that for just $1 a month. But if you want to be a Patreon producer, you can subscribe to our $5 tier. What does that mean? It means you get early access to all of our shows, plus a Patreon producer credit shout out during this here episode and our other episodes of other podcasts. Our Patreon producers for this episode, by the way, we are recording this episode on July 8th, 2022. So if you subscribe after that date, we will get to you on a future episode. Our Patreon producers for this episode. Sorry, I know I need to clean up that description and everything. We've gotten a few people asking what Patreon was, and so I'm kind of scrambling to describe it to everybody. Mm-hmm. But I'll get there, and we will have it more streamlined in a week or 2 or 12. I don't know, whenever I can get to it. Anyways, Patreon producers, Ed, for this episode of Nintendo Power Block Expansion Pass are Quentin Jackson, Rebecca Jewell, Adriel Munger, my wife, Sana Dirrig, and Francisco Santillan. So I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. And I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. We just give you some perks for supporting us directly on Patreon. So thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Again, if I am butchering your name at all during these Patreon producer shoutouts, DM me or the Patreon directly and with a correct pronunciation, and I will fix it within the coming weeks. I apologize if I am butchering anybody's name. I know I don't like that when people say my last name wrong, which happens often, and I don't want anybody else to be upset that I am not saying their name right. So I would rather be corrected than keep on saying that, because I did that to Stoy for a while, and he never corrected me, and I felt so bad when somebody finally corrected me. So anyways, Ed, let's talk about Nintendo some more. Thank you, everybody,
Yes.
by the way, who listens. We really do appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Well, we're going to get into our final topic of this episode. Um, and it was announced that E3 is coming back next year for 2023. They're
Yay.
working with the people who help organize PAX, and I think Gamescom. I think, I
Nope,
believe
just PAX.
just PAX.
Gamescom is Keeley's thing.
Oh, okay. Um, so they plan on making it a bigger and better, more organized show. So we don't know what that's always going to capitalize, but we should see something next year. And it got me thinking that I think Nintendo is going to return to E3, where we'll get Treehouse, we'll still get the direct and everything, and then I think we'll still get like big areas for people to go in and play games. But I kind of want to ask you, Corey, uh before we get into the E3 conversation. um I know a lot of us talked about the Summer Games Fest, and I know that's coming back next year. um but do you think that E3 has, or the ESA I should say, had looked at this year's Summer Game Fest and took notes to be like, okay, we see that what people didn't like about the show, so we want to make sure that we take the right steps, that we do it right.
Man, I don't know. I'm kind of two minds of this where I think E3 needs to evolve. I really do. I think the way they've been doing things has been super archaic for a while.
Hmm.
I mean, for us, it doesn't really make a difference because we don't go and we don't, someday we might go. I'm not sure. But for us, it doesn't change because we're still watching the press conferences live. We're still watching our favorite personalities talk about it, and then we kind of go and talk about it at night, right? Like we've still been doing that. We did that during Summer Game Fests and the Xbox Showcase. We did a Boss Rush Extra on it. So I mean, it doesn't really change for us, but I think in terms of just an in-person event, E3 is super archaic, and I would really like to see them evolve in a way that makes sense. I don't want it to be like PAX because I think PAX is more fan driven and more
Hmm.
exciting for fans who get to go because that's what it's for, right? It's for the cosplayers and the board game enthusiasts and the retro game collecting fans and people who are into indie games and uh, people who just want to see games that are coming, right? That we already know about, right? Like when I went, the Nintendo booth was packed full, right? And uh, I got to play Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch for the first time. I played Crash Bandicoot on the Switch for the first time. That was the first time Dead Cells was revealed, and I was, you know, playing Dead Cells before a lot of people because it was in Nintendo's booth. So PAX is always great. E3 is kind of different because it's always been an industry first trade show.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't think the purpose that E3 serves is relevant in today's marketplace. But I still think an industry event is necessary, if that makes sense. Um,
Yes.
I think, like for E3, I think they need to have like media days, maybe like the first 2 days where the after the press conferences and stuff. It should be like obviously the press conferences take place before the event technically, uh, but you have the press conferences, and then the first 2 days of the show are media days, and then maybe the last 2 days are fan days that are set up like PAX,
Mm.
in a sense. But I think it makes sense for E3 to still be an industry event because it's a place where the industry can go, cover the new games and do their coverage and do whatever they need to do to get the information out to us. We're still kind of enthusiasts. We're not journalists. We're not big media outlets like IGN or Game Informer or GameSpot. We're enthusiasts and we're fans, and that's like E3 presentations and articles and stuff are how we get our information.
Yes.
So yeah, I think E3 is still a fun thing to point at and say, hey, this is I mean, I've been awfully harsh on E3 the last few years sitting in this chair, but like as I think about it, I've kind of swung back the other way where I think E3 is, even if it's just like a legacy thing, right? Where it's a sign of goodwill towards gamers and the industry, where it's a celebration, right? It's not necessarily a where they're going to sell games to these to like Toys R Us or Circuit City or Best Buy, right?
Yeah.
It's not the 90s anymore, right? It's I think it should be set up as a celebration of games, where there's cool trailers and announcements and personalities there to kind of show off the stuff that's going on, and then fans can come in the last half of the show, and then it's treated more like PAX in a sense, right? That's kind of my idea of it. Ed, what are your thoughts? I know I've kind of been rambling a little bit, and I know I ramble when I'm tired, because that's how I know I'm tired, is because I just keep rambling. So please stop me.
No, I think I think after everybody getting to see how the Summer Games Fest event went, a lot of people were disappointed about a lot of the show stuff, because they didn't really know what times and dates and who was going to be a part of it. It just felt like there was a lot of talking with some things instead of them showing like actual gameplay. And regardless of what people thought of or how they felt about Keaton and stuff, it just really felt like he didn't bring any excitement to it. Now with E3, we're, when we watch it, it's the time that we're so used to making predictions and watching the shows and seeing who's going to be there and get revealed and everything. We think of E3 now because of the digital presentations. We don't think about them, us going to actual E3 and participating, because it's about what games are being announced, what games are being shown, not what we're actually going to be playing. When it comes to Nintendo, after we see the Direct and stuff, it's going to be what are they talking about and showing us at Treehouse Live that we don't know about? What is going to be new revealed on their final day of Treehouse Live? They're still, Nintendo treats E3 like, yeah, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you this, we're going to display our games personally, and then we're going to give you a surprise at the end of it. I think Nintendo, they just, I think they're going to be welcome back to E3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Treehouse is such a big part of E3, right? Like, I mean, I know the Direct kind of was the first step in kind of killing E3, but like their Treehouse presentations have been a pretty big part of E3 for a while, right? We've gotten pretty major announcements in Treehouse, right? Couple Pokemon games were shown off there. Metroid Samus Returns was shown off there, right? Like, we've gotten some pretty decent announcements and demos from Treehouse, and so yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just
no.
wanted to throw that out there. Breath of the Wild was, obviously that was the one game they showed at E3 that one year, and it was incredible. Like, we got 10 hours of Breath of the Wild.
Right, and like people were analyzing all of that to see what they could find.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, that year that we was watching it, and they announced Metroid: Samus Returns, and we were just like, wait a minute, what the world is this?
Yeah.
Like, and then like some arcade games, like at the end of the show, I think there's that Donkey Kong one, and it was just like, wow, they're still doing announcements and stuff, and we're tuning in to see what they are going to show and get a better idea for it now. And I kind of agree with you. I think that there should be more days for the media coverage and interviews, and then have it where it's a Friday, Saturday, where um the community could come in and experience those games and stuff. It'd probably be a little bit more organized, have a little bit more systems out there, uh, because I think that was the thing with Summer Game Fest, was that there was people who were, I guess, let down with a lot of the presentations, and they expected Nintendo to save it in a sense. And I think that's always, for the past few years, it's been like that. That people are being upset or disappointed that everybody else's presentation hasn't been good enough for them. And so when Nintendo comes out, people are surprised, or people are laughing, thinking like, how The Witcher 3 on Switch, and then it does the things that it does. I think that's what people have kind of expected E3 to be, and it's very weird. I just don't understand why that mentality has happened, where it should be that, hey, we should be celebrating all of this good stuff that is coming now. And I know I'm guilty of saying, like with this, like with the Summer Game Fest, like definitely for Microsoft, was just like, you guys got a great lineup of games coming, but we want dates. Um, you know, you you told us about the power of your system. Well, I want to see more power from that system, and I feel like personally I can't see it because there's not enough games to give me that marketing power in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, Xbox has I mean, they obviously, like, their showcase said these are the games you're going to be playing in the next 12 months, and like, I think, whatever is happening on the back end of Starfield is going to utilize the power, because like, I think we're at a point graphically where we're at diminishing returns at this point, but like, the
Mm-hmm.
things that it can do under the hood is like the things we can't see, uh are what these new consoles are primed for, right? Like Starfield, I mean, again, I don't know what 1,000 different planets looks like in this game, but uh that's kind of what they're flaunting there. Obviously, Forza Motorsports looks super realistic. I don't even understand how that game looks so good. Uh, but I mean, Halo Infinite is running on. They've shown footage of it running on a base Xbox One, right? And so, not that it doesn't look great, and with features and stuff from the Series X, but like, still technically an Xbox One game. Gears 5 technically an Xbox One game. Gears Tactics technically an Xbox One game. Uh, you know, Flight Simulator, super impressive tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but again, like, I know it's doing a lot under the hood, but it still looks like an Xbox One game, even though it, is utilizing cloud power and a lot of the horsepower that the Series X and S provide, right? Like, it's definitely using that, but like, it's not visually like, I mean, it's impressive, but it's not like it does it didn't it you know what I'm saying? Like, we're just getting diminishing returns, and I don't know how much power is going to kind of. I want to see games that are utilizing these consoles, right? I do. Like, I bought a Series X at launch, and the only game that has been impressive to me is like playing Destiny at 60 frames a second instead of 30, right? I mean, that's what I bought it for, to be fair, right? To play Destiny at 4K and 60 frames a second instead of 1080p and 30. Uh, I mean, I'm pretty impressed by Outriders also, with like the particle effects and high frame rates and just those are the two games that I love on Xbox right now, and those games are Xbox One games, and all. I didn't need to get a Series X to play these games. I did
Right.
because they're better, they run better, and they load faster, but they're not necessary to play these games.
Right. And I kind of feel, and I'm not going to, I think if Xbox would have been like, here's a date, here's a date, here's a month, here's a month, this is what we got planned. Even if they changed it to be like, okay, at least I know now date wise what I could do. And I think
I mean,
if
they did say all
Nintendo,
these. They did say all the games they showed were going to be able to be played in the next 12 months, except for I think 2 games.
well, which is understandable, but I think with a lot of stuff that they showed that I guess been in development for such a long time, that it's one of those things that I just wish definitely for Microsoft that they were able to give us some dates so we could plan stuff out. I think it's a planning thing. Um with it, because like with Switch, and definitely with PlayStation, they just announced that God of War is coming out November 9th. Ubisoft got Skull and Bones coming out November 8th. You know, at this point in time, Switch is literally packed for October because of what they show with their direct. And past E3s, when we got some official dates and some dates that did get pushed, we knew that okay, they're stacking games for this month. They're stacking games for this month. You know, um, that's part of the importance of E3 is that we're seeing what we're going to get, and I think that matters to Nintendo to be like, okay, we did the announcements, we showed you the games, we got stuff running out more for you to check out before we release it. And I think that's the thing that we kind of want from E3, for anyone who participates with it and everything. We're not confused on what day, if this thing is going to happen, and then 4 days later this next thing. No, we kind of get to understand. Microsoft is on Sunday with Ubisoft or Bethesda. Monday, here go some of the third party. Tuesday, here go Nintendo. It's set, it's concise. We get to see it, we get to make our content and be done with it. Nothing is spread out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Nintendo has been so integral to all aspects of E3. Like, I mean, we've talked about it before, where it's like they literally kind of owned E3 for a long time, and then when they started Nintendo Directs, that was kind of like the first, kick the door down. Sorry, everybody, my son's crying, but it's definitely, they're the ones that kind of started the revolution against E3 in respect with the directs, right? Like, I mean, I know Nintendo is so in they want to control their message, right? They want to control the message, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we saw enough E3 demos that failed or things go wrong, right? The Skyward Sword demo is infamous for that. And obviously, like, PlayStation had that Uncharted demo that they had to reset because it wasn't working. And what better way to do it than a curated, edited with a fine-tooth comb kind of video, right? The directs are so important. Look how many people have copied it since then, right? We have State of Play, we have Inside Xbox, we have Ubisoft Connect, we have whatever Stadia was doing, right? Like, everybody is copying this formula.
Yeah, and I think it's such a quick hit that we do get these multiple games, and it's for us when it comes to Nintendo E3, it's literally the unexpected. Near Automata, yeah, that's being ported by Virtuoso, but I can't believe that's being put on the Switch. When we seen like Doom and some of these other games that get ported on last year. No, or 2019, we saw Panzer Dragoon remake happening on Switch. Like that was so out of the box, and I think what makes that so good for Nintendo is that yeah, we get some stuff that we know, some out of the box stuff, but then it's the dates, it's the timing of what is getting revealed. They don't stick on too long for it. It's not a cutscene. This is what they're actually working on, and they're going to deliver. So you can't say that. Well, I don't know what I'm getting out of the game. No, Nintendo showed you guys what you're going to get out of the game. And if you stick with it later on throughout the year before it comes out, you're going to see more revealed to it. And I think
Yeah.
Nintendo just got such a strong formula on how to execute it, where it gets, I think it gets a little bit confusing on why can't everybody else execute on that level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, like we 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 kind of talked about the directs and how important they've been to the industry as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Also, kind of taking away from E3, but also like you turn around and I know we kind of talked about this a little bit before, but like more in depth, like Treehouse is so essential to the E3 experience, right? Like,
Yes.
and I think that's where Nintendo is like, we're gonna have our cake and eat it too, right? Where okay, yeah, maybe we're not doing a big stage presentation, but we are showing off some of the games at Treehouse, and we are demoing them. Maybe not to people or the industry, but this we have our team of people who are knowledgeable about the game. Maybe a developer, maybe interviews with Anuma or Miyamoto or somebody else, the Splatoon team. Like I would have been, if E3 happened, I bet there would have been a big Splatoon Treehouse event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Splatoon 3, like that seems like a no-brainer. So yeah, I mean, I think Nintendo is just evolving the way they market their stuff and really controlling their brand, and they've always been that way. And I think this, as much as we kind of make fun of Nintendo being backwards in a lot of ways, right? Still using cartridges, their online functionality is poor. Their store needs a redesign. The way they market their message has always been forward thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think they've evolved the way people have thought about E3 and conferences in general. And I think that's a good thing. And to bring it back around to E3, I think E3 needs to I think they need to evolve in the way that Nintendo has evolved their marketing, like okay, well, obviously these companies are doing their big presentations, but I think we need to celebrate their gameplay demos. We need to, and maybe like the demos and stuff are different from Nintendo, right? Because Nintendo kind of uses their own staff to demo these games.
Yeah.
Obviously they have a booth where people can check them out, but like what's featured on Treehouse is their own staff. Maybe E3 and like they try to convince these companies, hey, bring your demos. We're going to try to do something interesting and curated to show them off on, something, right? Because like, I think at the end of the day, as much as we kind of point to E3, I think Keighley's events are going to take over, whether people agree or like it or not. Like, I think Summer Game Fest is headed in the right direction. Granted, this year was, a lack of games because the industry is still kind of pulling out of the COVID stuff and people are delaying games and stuff like that. But like, I think the Keighley stuff is the right idea. But also, I think the Keighley stuff is just a small evolution of a Nintendo Direct.
Well, and I'm not mad about Keely stuff.
I'm not either.
About it. I think.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
I think with Keely stuff is that it feels lifeless, and I think the lifeless comes from when Keely comes on and starts speaking onto it, and so it's a little bit lifeless in that part. And then when they bring on people, they don't even seem like excited about it. Like you,
well,
I think.
I think that I don't think that it's lifeless. I just feel like I feel like Keighley kind of has just this one note kind of personality almost, and it doesn't come across as excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And then you either bring on a marketing person who's trying to sell you the game, or a developer who's not used to talking in front of a camera and on a stage with people, right? I think that's like where the E3 stuff kind of, why Nintendo took the direct approach also is like you don't have timid developers up there like not knowing what to say or not knowing how to market their game. And sometimes it's endearing, right? Like we always point to the Mario Rabbids director, right? And how emotional he got when he got to make a Mario game and they showed him in the audience, right? Like that was super endearing and really nice to see some emotion come from someone. But like also when EA trots out these Ubisoft or these EA originals people, right, where they're just a small indie developer and they don't, some of them don't know how to talk in front of people, right? Like remember the guy that did Unraveled? I was so uncomfortable for him.
Yeah.
And then you have the off chance of getting someone like Joseph Ferris, who's just like,
oh goodness,
he like his personality for me is off-putting. I get he's probably like a nice guy. He makes good games and he knows how to market it himself. And a big personality will always sell a game no matter what. And I get that, but like his personality is kind of off-putting to me in a lot of ways. And and I think Nintendo just wants to avoid all of that. And again, it comes down to controlling the message, controlling what you're showing, who's showing it, that kind of thing. And that's kind of what I have to say about that.
Yeah, and and my last thing about just like with Kitty, I think it's yes, you're seeing them send you these games, but once again, you have a diversity problem. It's not diverse enough for different genre of gamers or games out there for different gamers, because I'm like, it. Of course, this year the problem was so many space games. Well, yeah, we got a lot of space games, but we really don't know. Besides the Callisto project, we don't know what the other 4 games are. They all look like maybe first person shooters, or survival horror, or walking simulator. We don't know them. But Kitty should have said, you know what? Okay, Callisto Protocol. I like where you guys are going, but I'm gonna hold off until you. I think these other games may be interesting, like show stuff. I think.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like you have these big games like Callisto Protocol, and I think at the end of the day, Keighley's trying to run a business, and the big games are going to sell the business, and E3 also is trying to run a business, or ESA is trying to run a business, and E3 is their cash cow, and they need to figure out how to run their business. And that's, at the end of the day, it's about running a business. I think a lot of people just lose sight that like people aren't making these games for free. They are running businesses, and yeah, it's a weird section of people creating art mixed with business decisions, but that's the reality in the world we live in. And I think that these conferences are feeling the effects of what this industry truly is. And I feel bad to an extent.
Yeah. But well, everybody, that's going to be it for Nintendo Expansion Pass. Thank you, Corey, for joining me on this topic. You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode, and check out Nintendo Power Block on Mondays, and the recorded shows and audio on Wednesdays. And yeah, check me out also on bossrush.net and on our Discord. Corey, where can we find you?
You can find me at I am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Nintendo Power Block, on the Boss Rush podcast, and various other things here on the Boss Rush Network.
Yes, and you can go to our website and check out our merch store and be able to find our Patreon. $1 will give you early access, but $5 will get you a producer shout out. Help us produce some content here on bossrich.net. With that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.